Hey guys! So today I'm here to talk about Pokémon Origins, or Pokémon the Origin, whichever you prefer to call it. I just finished that this morning and I need to talk about it in a kind of very loosely review way, I suppose. There is just a little 8-year-old version of me inside of my chest who's like, you need to talk about this so badly, and I do. So, let's get information out of the way. Pokémon Origins is a 4-episode special from both Production IG and Madhouse, and it's based on the original versions, Red and Green, I suppose, in Japan. As it's sort of a direct adaptation of the first 2 games, it's pretty safe to say that any big fans of Pokémon are going to want to watch this, and they're going to be extremely excited about it. And that's because, you know, it's slightly more mature and absolutely 100% playing to our sense of nostalgia. So, the question is, does it live up to the hype that it has been getting over the past few weeks up to its release? And does it live up to the expectations of Pokémon fans who have wanted something like this for years? I'm assuming there's more people than me who have wanted this for a very long time. So the story follows the journey of Red, the trainer, who is trying to complete his Pokédex and is travelling around the Kanto region to try and capture all 150 original Pokémon. And that is pretty much it. Seriously, it's very simple, like, obviously, if you played the games, you're gonna know. It doesn't need to be too complicated. In its most basic form, this is an abridgment of the original games, which isn't a bad thing, but it's a very, very, very brief abridgment, I suppose. Like, very brief, compared to how many hours I spent playing on Blue version when I first got it, compared to how long this is. The two don't really compare. It cuts out a lot of things, and these things obviously have a lot less importance in the general story, I suppose, and it only really mentions things in passing, which is kind of disappointing. It does it really well, by which I mean it really has some really good moments in it, but the things that they miss out on or just skim over is, like, kind of heartbreaking for me personally. So I was talking to my friend about this when I went out to see him last Thursday, and we were talking about it, and I was saying, man, I'm so excited that I get to see Misty again. And he sort of gave me this kind of look. That's never a look of something good coming your way. I basically am that person that lives for gym battles in Pokemon games, because I really, really love that feeling of getting the badge and being like, yeah, I did this, and it was awesome, and it skimmed over them so badly. So, if you don't know, Misty is totally my favourite gym leader from Kanto, and she was there. She didn't get any lines, though, as did 6 of the other gym leaders. 6 of them didn't even get a word. My heart, it hurts. This is the case for more characters than I'm happy with. I understand why. It's going to be down to budgeting and time constraints and not having enough time to do everything. And they did use the time that they got quite well, I will give them that, but my heart. So just as a fan who really wanted to see these, like, immense gym battles and see the characters from my childhood that I loved, is so disappointing. Like, I wish that this had aired last season as hype leading up to X and Y, maybe alongside the other series, but this is what I wish could have happened. It ran alongside Best Wishes for 12 or 13 episodes, and then they released X and Y, because that would have been good build-up to what happened at the end. It would have been good build-up to the game, and we would have had more time, I suppose. And this is my major complaint with it, is it just didn't have enough time. But the story that is there, I will say, is done really, really well. So much so that I may or may not have cried during one of the episodes. It just misses out on so much stuff that I can't help but feel a little bit disappointed that it never made an appearance, I suppose. Well, I don't think that there is at all that much to talk about with the characters. Let's do it anyway. So let's talk about the protagonist, Red, first, who a lot of people are complaining is similar to Ash for some reason. And I love this because it's so great. So if you've watched the Pokemon anime before, you might pick up on the fact that Red and Ash are quite similar. The reason for this is that Red was the protagonist of the game, and when they were coming to release the anime for Pokemon, they decided that they would basically base the protagonist of the anime off the protagonist of the game. Hence why they're really, really similar. So in this respect, they are both really strong trainers, even though they know nothing about the world. They are very determined people, and somehow manage to be nice to everyone they cross paths with. and I don't know why. And of course with the Ash comes the Gary, and with the red comes Green, who is less of an arsehole than Gary, I will give him that, but they have pretty much the same design. It's just I think Green's is a lot better in terms of, you know, looking good. But same personality type, with him being the cocky, arrogant, totally rubbish at being a human being towards the protagonist sort of character. I don't have anything else to say about the characters. I do like the rivalry between these two a lot more than the rivalry between Ash and Gary, because, you know, Gary is a lot more aloof than Green is, I suppose. So, let's talk about the animation instead. This is a very different look for Pokemon. A lot of the Pokemon designs are very similar to the other anime, but some of them look different and better, I suppose. Charmander being the only one I can actually think of off the top of my head. He just looks so cute, and I don't remember him being that cute before. Anyway, the designs are a bit more mature, they're a bit cleaner, they look like they've, you know, actually invested money in it, I suppose. And the characters feel really Japanese, which I like. This is something, I don't know if that was the intent, but they actually feel like real people rather than anime characters with big eyes like this. And I really, really liked this art style. I thought it was just so good, and I wish to see more of it with the Pokemon context, basically, because it was just, the characters just had really clean and simple designs, like they were in the game, I suppose, but it worked so well. It didn't look cheap, it didn't look rushed, and it looked like they had paid a lot of attention to the game artwork and been really faithful to that, which I like. So good job on that front, because it was awesome. I don't particularly have a lot to say about the music either, but it's so perfect. I don't want to say anything about the music because it's just so good, and you have to watch it to understand why it's so good, and go and play Red and Blue if you haven't already, I suppose. But it's really good. I'm not going to say anything about the music, you just have to experience it for yourself, so you can go and watch it. Honestly, that's all I have to say that's like in terms of review stuff, which I know this isn't really a review, it's just a final impression, so it's my own opinions, because I can't not talk about this. While I was really excited for this, the fact that they cut so much out was kind of a disappointment to me, and I know it makes sense. I know people are going to be like, but they couldn't do it because they didn't have enough time, and I know that. They had 2 hours to do like loads of hours in a game, and they couldn't fit everyone in, and it would have gotten really expensive if they would have had to voice like 6 more characters or whatever. I get it, but as a Pokemon fan, and as someone who for this part does not understand why this is only 4 episodes, I can't. I just feel like it would have made a better series rather than a special OVA sort of thing. I just feel like it would have made a better series. Something along the lines of Pokemon Chronicles, if anyone ever saw that. So Pokemon Chronicles was basically a side story to the main anime, where it just followed around a bunch of characters that weren't Ash. So it was like Misty, Tracy, Jesse and James, they were in there. Cassidy and Butch were in there a bunch, so I just feel like it would have made a better series, like, not long running, but longer than it was, I suppose. It was still really good overall. I will say that it was really good overall. I don't have a lot of complaints about this, because it was really, really well written, and it did make me feel really nostalgic, and that was pretty much its goal, I imagine. Like, I felt nostalgic. If this came out on DVD, I would probably pay money for it, so, you know, you did your job well. But I would absolutely love to think that in the future they would do more specials like this, like for Gold and Silver, Ruby and Sapphire, and Black and White. Guess who wasn't too big into Diamond and Pearl? Oh my god. Oh my god. A Black and White anime. Oh my god, that would be so good. Oh, it would be like that trailer that they did for the game. Oh my god, that needs to happen. Some world, please. The only other thing that I really have to say about this as well is that if you're trying to avoid spoilers for X and Y, don't watch this for a little bit, because there is kind of a spoiler at the end of it, I suppose, because I've been trying to avoid spoilers for the game like no one's business. I'm getting an X version for those of you who were wondering, and I'm really excited about it. But I know nothing about the game, so it's going to be like a really blind Pokemon experience for me, and I'm really excited about that. But there is something at the end of this that just didn't make a bunch of sense to me, because I have no idea what's going on with Pokemon anymore. I don't get it. The good thing is, it didn't make any sense to me, so when it comes up in the game, I'll be like, okay, that makes sense, I get it now. So if you're a Pokemon fan, you are gonna love this. if you're like 150, 151, 150 original only sort of thing, if you're a fan of the original 150 Pokemon, you are gonna love this, despite its flaws, because it is just like a chunk of nostalgia for you to sink your teeth into, I suppose. I don't know where I was going with that sentence, but I'm done talking about Pokemon. I had my moment, and now I'm good. Other than that, I'm gonna go get on that hype train over there, because I'm super hyped for Pokemon now, so tell me which starter you're getting, I suppose. Team Fennekin. Until next time, take care, and I will see you guys soon.
Sleepy Joe, please. No, Sleepy Joe. Don't do it. Can you do that? That's not as cute though. Wonderful.